Well, what's the daftest thing you can do on a weekend that's going to be 30 degrees? Go camping? Yeah, that's what I thought I'd do. So here we are. I'm in a different location. So this is one that I've got on a Wild Spaces website. Basically 15 quid for the night. Somebody who's got a copse of woods allows you to use the woods as long as you don't set fire to it, I'm sure. So thought I'd come for a couple of nights and see how it is. So time to get my stuff on. It's baking. It's literally 30 degrees right now. So it's going to be a warm walk in. It's about 1.5 kilometres to get to the spot. So I'm here in a lay-by. Yeah, let's get going. Well, here we are, another camp. It's a different spot this time. I'm near to Nottingham. It's about an hour away from home. It's a bit of a school setup. They use this for schools, I think, and some forest schools. So there's quite a few pathways, well trodden around the area. I prefer a bit more remote, to be honest, but I went on a site called CampWild. It's a great site where you can find landowners who've got copses of woods that don't mind you using them. It's a membership site, and simply you pay your membership. I think it's about 25 quid, and there's a code of conduct that you have to agree to, which is obviously to leave no trace, which is sort of obvious really. Don't screw up the land whilst you're enjoying yourself, basically. So you've got to take a picture of your tent when you've set up. Got to take a picture of your tent when you leave, just so that you can send it to CampWild and they can determine that you are doing what you say you want to do. It's quite away from the car actually, so it's about just over a 20-minute walk to the car and then 20-minute walk back. I had to come a couple of times because essentially you try and pack light but all the things you need, especially if you're staying for a couple of days. Just the food and the water is really heavy, to be honest. I'm not one for bringing dried packs of food in and army rations and stuff. I prefer, as you'll see later, decent bit of food. You don't get a body like this without eating, as a friend used to say. So yeah, let's get some firewood. I don't really need a fire for heat, that's for sure. But it's quite nice. Keeps away some of the flies later on as well, I would imagine, because there's a lot of bracken and ferns around. There's a few fires. I've got one bite already, just a tiny little thing. Nothing bad. So yeah, just get a bit of a fire going later on. Bit of smoke on. And yeah, let's get started. Well, that's camp set up. So, because it's about 28 degrees, it's quite humid in the woods as well. But yeah, I need it. Go. Oh, fabulous. Got a new toy to play with. So you know I like the One Tigress gear. Got the backwards bungalow, dragon eye chair. So to go with that, we've got the dipper table. So let's get it up, shall we? These are about 38 quid. And I just love the way they just pop out of almost nothing. And a great little thing to have around camp just to stand your beer on. So there's one side. There's the other. So that's the upper bit. And we've got these legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these Just sit there like that. And then these that way. Nice little net underneath it just to put some stuff, just to keep it off the floor. And the net actually helps to keep it tight. Stops it wobbling about quite so much. Keeps these down. We've got the lid there. It's nice and tight, so it sort of keeps a nice straight edge, and there you go. There's your camp table. Isn't that nice? Like I say, they're only about 38 quid on Amazon, and if you stick them in your basket and you leave them, you find you'll get 15% off. I find if I add it to the basket and leave it there for a week, amazingly, all of a sudden it comes down in price. There you go. Perfect. And there's camp. Just chili and rice tonight, so I'm going to get I'll just do it on the burner, I think. Tomorrow night I'm going to cook on the fire. Got a new fire grill, which I'll pop on the video in a bit. Got it from a metalworks company. I need to look up the detail of it before I stick it on the video. I'll show you how that works. It's pretty cool. It's just an arm that will swing over the fire so that the steak can be cooked and then swung out the way to rest. Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. Meanwhile, God, crikey, gotta try and cool down. Cheers, folks. Oh, it's a lovely night. I've just got a gap in the trees and the sun's just been shining nicely into the tent. It's really nice. It's probably about 24, still 23 degrees, 24 degrees just at the moment. But I think it's time to light the fire. There's a few bugs starting to appear. I've got a Flextail light which has you can put pads in it just to disturb them. So after I've finished with the camera, I'll use the tripod to mount the Flextail, I think. I can stand it on here, I suppose. Just to ward them off, but we'll get a fire going, I think. So let's have a look. Vaseline this time. Somebody from B&I bought me some tampons because they hear that I use different things to light fires with. So they gave me Doritos and makeup pads and all sorts of stuff. You can tell I'm not used to opening these things. No idea how you get into this thing. There we go. Pocket. So just give it a bit of a roust. With the knife. Trying to get my fingers. Vaseline just to help it go along, to help the light in. I'll pop it on some bark. And let's get it struck. Oops, let's get nearer. That's it. Well, these aren't as good as they there we go. Certainly aren't as good as the cotton wool balls, that's for sure. Or maybe I didn't roust it up enough. That's probably me, isn't it? Not the usual start to the fire that we've got, but that's starting to go. There we go. I think I'll stick with the trusty cotton wool balls. Let that run up a bit. Oops. Oh, it's nothing like having a fire, you know. There we go. Probably sit here for an hour or so. Well, it's about 8:30. So a couple of hours, I think we'll have another beer. Just relax by the fire. Well, that's me packed up for the night. The light went about 20 past 10. So yeah, that's me in my bed, almost. I'm going to spare you that. So yeah, I'll see you in the morning. Let's make breakfast in the morning. Got bacon and eggs, usual stuff. Looking forward to that. I do like food. That's the reason why I come. Right, see you in the morning. Well, good morning. Don't know what time it is. I think it's about 8 o'clock. I slept really well. I tell you what, there's nothing like waking up in the forest with the birds sounding and the really peaceful. Ah, coffee. Got my first cup. I use the coffee bags from Sainsbury's. Strength 5, obviously. Got to get yourself going. Put that down there for later. Well, when I say later, I mean throw it away. Top of the morning. Do a bit of exploration in the forest, I think. In a bit, let's see what's around. You never know. Well, obviously this is the bit that's set up, but you never know if there's any other areas in the forest, so I'll probably take a bit of a walk. Maybe if I come another time, you never know, there might be a better spot. Albeit I won't have a fire pit, but I can always bring my own fire pit. Sun's out. There are a couple of clouds in the sky, but it's going to be a warm one, probably around about 31 degrees, 30, 31 degrees. We'll have to see what the temperature sensor says. However, it's bacon time. Can't have a bacon sandwich without tomato ketchup. Definitely not. There really is nothing better than bacon sandwiches in the middle of a forest, cooked on a little stove. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to enjoy this and guarantee I'm going to make a mess. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh wow, that's great. Oh. So as my wife will probably testify, I do watch a few YouTube videos about camping and kit and stuff, and one of the best sites, there's two great sites actually. One of them is TA Outdoors, and that's a young lad who owns a forest. He's done all sorts of bits on that channel, from building shelters building ovens, even forging his own metalwork. Another one is called Kent Survival. That's TA Outdoors, the other one. Kent Survival is a guy called Andy. Nice guy, funny. He likes cooking. He's an ex-chef in a previous life. So he makes some great food, which is definitely a draw for me. But he gets some good kit. He gets some of it sent, some of it he buys, he does buy himself. And due to the unique way in which this channel is funded, I of course buy it myself. So I saw in his video, he was talking about a site called TJM Metalworks. When you've got an open fire, having a grill, and I used to have one that sat in the fire itself, and the obvious problem with that is it's sat in the fire. So once it's in the fire, it's in the fire, unless you really want to get some. And I've got some decent gloves, but grabbing stuff out of fires, especially hot grills, is not too great. So I bought a fire grill, and these things are lovely. Stainless steel. It's hand forged by TJM Metalworks, and I just wanted something so that I can basically put my steak on and swing it over the fire grill. So here, I've got a steak that goes into the ground, and then on top of that, on goes this, and then there you've got an arm if you want to hang a kettle. Whee! And then on top of this, you can hang your grate, and that's really cool. Lovely little piece of kit. So let's get it installed next to the fire, and I'll bring you in closer so you can have a look. Okay, so I'm going to put the fire grate in just here. So just have that in there like that. There you go. Pop our top in. There we go. And the fire grate just goes on like that. There we go. I might have to just knock it in a little bit more. There we go. Look at that. Brilliant. Of course, depending on the fire, I can lift it up, let it fall out. And of course, you can raise or lower it as you wish, being careful not to drop it out of the thing. How great is that? And if you just want to balance it, there's another one that goes on top, and that can hang your tools. Brilliant. I like that. That's good. It's 79 quid, something like that. Handmade. Lovely little thing. Definitely recommend having a look at the site. So that's TJM Metalworks. Nice. A couple of weeks ago it was Father's Day, so my daughter Lauren bought me a beef rub, and if there's one thing I like, it's a steak, as you'll see in a second. So Popami's rub, Texas beef, mustard and pepper, sounds fantastic. So I made myself a promise. I thought when I came camping I'd bring this with me. It's a UK based seller. It says it's a mustard and pepper spice rub in the spirit of the flavours of Texas. It's intended for beef, oh yes, in particular, but goes well with pork or other ingredients. Beef. Popami spice rubs are well suited for dry marinating, i.e. being rubbed on meat, and as general seasons in the home kitchen or grilled food. The spice mix also goes well with smoked meat. So yeah, let's give it a go. Now, let's have a look at this steak. Yep, the flies are interested in my steak. You can keep away, you can. Look at that. before. Look at this. Now that is, look at that. I'm really not sure I'm going to be able to eat all that, but I will wrap it up and take it home. Anything I don't eat, nothing will go to waste. Look at that. Get away, you. Right, let's give it some oil. In fact, I probably, when I oil this steak up and give it a rub, I'll bet you I can't open the packet. I've got a cloth there, so I can give me hand a wipe. Turn it over. Look at that. That's amazing. There we go. Give it a rub. Some plenty of fat on that. This is going to spit lovely. Right, cloth. Wow, I really am not going to be able to eat all that, that's for sure. But it's going to go fantastic on the fire. Finest seasoning for all meat lovers. Just rub it and cook it. Brilliant. So let's get this off. Wow, look at that. Fantastic. Still plenty left. Let's get it on the fire. And like I said, the great thing about this grill is you can sort of like position it as you wish. So let's start high. Hopefully it's going to take the weight of this steak. Let's get that on there. Just look at that. And then let's just swing it over there. Wow. Needs a bit of counterbalance, Steve. Because that is probably a bit high. I need my gloves on. Fantastic. Fantastic. Look at that. I can't even get it on a plate. I do need to invest in bigger plates, you know. But what I'm going to do, I think we need the big knife. It seems pitiful, does that fork. Let's see if we can get a slice of that. Let's just have a look. So there you go. Probably actually cooked a little bit further through than I would like, but that does look amazing. And that rub. Oh, why is this? Yeah, that rub, you can taste the mustard. Oh, I'm going to enjoy that. Wow. Fantastic. Now to get the other bits. Ha. Wow, that is great. Well done. So just in case you thought I didn't have enough food, we've got Idahoan mash, which is mash in a packet, which is fabulous, and then tinned peas and carrots. I don't know. But anyway, look, hey, it's going to be a good meal. So I'm going to give Wolf this down. I'm not going to put you through watching me eat it. But yeah, bon appetit. Well, needless to say, I didn't eat it all. That was huge. I've got a lot to take home, which is great. Maxine will get to try some. Tomorrow morning's going to be, well, I'll sit here and watch the fire, have a beer. I'll probably turn in early when the sun goes down, probably about 10 o'clock. Then tomorrow morning's going to be packing up, really. It's got about an hour's drive to get back home. I don't want to be home too late, so I probably won't do any video. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching, as always. Always appreciated. Any comments you want to make, by all means. If you think I overdid the steak or whatever, it actually got a lot rarer towards the centre, which is nice. It means it was cooked properly. Yeah, cheers. Here's to the next one.